all the students present here. I would like to welcome Mr. Chetan Singh Gill and Rajesh Rana sir for taking a session on SCC online training workshop. As all of you know that researching on cases and other related issues are very integral part of the academics for the law students. So during these 5 years of journey, it becomes pertinent for all of you to learn the right skills. So we have the professional trainers from SCC Online who will be taking and walking you through all the steps how to research well from basics to the advanced level. You can ask questions also, but we'll take up questions only after the session is over. And as Rajesh sir was telling me that the session is divided into two parts, so after every session, questions will be entertained. But I'll request all the students to just raise your hand and then you may ask the question or you may type in the chat box. Rather than speaking, it might create chaos. So, with the blessings of our authorities, I think we can begin the session.
Sure, ma'am.
Okay.
We will also share the basic hygiene factors that how the session gonna be, what Ma'am Swati spoke about. First of all, welcome all. We have around 90 members who are already joined us. I welcome you all. My name is Chetan Singh with my colleague, Mr. Rajesh Raina. So, yes, we'll be taking a question at the last. That's what we intend to plan. But my question before we start, I have a question for you guys. And that is, you must have some expectation from this session. A lot of times you come for these sessions because you've been asked to come for these sessions. So you just show up, right? And then you sit through the session because you're like, okay, I was being asked, so I will sit through it and then I'll just go back. That's one choice that you have, and it's totally your choice if you want to go with that. I would not say anything on that. However, if you have a slightest of expectation from this session, I would like you to voice it out right now. So it can be, let's suppose, Mr. Raina and I, we attend a session. We might have the expectation from a software or this research website trainers. And I want to know how and why should I be using these softwares compared to the free softwares? Because the judgments that we will be accessing through SCC Online or any other paid software, those judgments are available free of cost on the Supreme Court of India website and High Court respectively. Why I should be paying from my pocket? Not right now, but eventually you will be, right? Why does anyone, for that matter, pay for your services? That could be the one question. Second could be, I'm attending this session because I have no idea about legal research, and I think legal research is a bit complicated, and I want to understand the basics of it. On the same tangent, someone would say that I know the basics, but I need to reduce my time of research. I want to see what is the advanced searches available in this software. Then you can talk about how can I find if a judgment is overruled or not. Is it possible? Can I see the authority check? Can I do authority check that where all this judgment was cited as a precedent? All those sort of things are expectations from a session. So we'll take a moment. You can use a chat box, or you can unmute yourself and ask this and raise this query. That what exactly are you expecting? What will happen with this interaction? What will happen with this interaction is that we will understand that what is it that one thing you're looking for. We have a set examples. Mr. Ryan and I we have discussed the examples that will be showing in today's session, and we have already discussed our flow. But if you bring in something which we were not planning to discuss or showcase in this session, we will then include that as well. So the forum is open. Please raise your hand. There's an option of raising your hand in this meeting. There's a small smiley icon with that. There we go. We have Aryan. Aryan, please go ahead.
a very important thing that I would want from a software is that it helps me understand the chronology of cases.
Yeah.
Like, is the case being overruled or something? Like, is the case presently being challenged by someone? So that is something like which conflicts our research a lot. Like, we are
Absolutely.
forming a research on something and we tend to forget some important prospect of it because
Correct.
it is like out of scope of our research. So if there is a software that can help me understand that these are the related cases, or at least this is the chronology in which the cases flew. Like, this was like the district judgment, this was the high court judgment, this was the Supreme Court judgment, if it went to that extent.
Yeah.
This is something that I would really expect from a software to do, which would be really helpful.
Great. I think that that's a fair expectation because nowadays, going through the books or asking a human to, have everything updated, it's, I think, next to impossible. Because if I give you a quick check, if I combine the district court, the high court, and the all the high court and Supreme Court together, and may bring all the judgments together, the number would be crossing around 1 crore. Right. So number is huge. So yes, I think we need that some software. Aryan, I'll throw in one bit of it. Whatever you said, I will answer that in the session. I'll add another aspect to it. Sometimes you are reading a high court judgment and you think that your high court judgment is exactly what you're looking for, and then you just take the citation and you start drafting your argument. But then the surprise comes in when you go to the court. You go to the court and you realize that that particular case was challenged in the Supreme Court. Something similar to what you asked for, and has been struck down. That's one element of it. Second element is that some other judgment came in the Supreme Court on the same facts that the High Court judgment had already decided, the matter. And Supreme Court had a completely different view. Even in those cases, the High Court judgment would not have any grounds. So we will give you that as well. So, going with that, history, that challenge from the High Court to the Supreme Court, and what happened over there. Was it upheld or was it reversed? That's one. Second, even if some other case of the Supreme Court has reversed the High Court judgment, directly or indirectly, we'll also give you that. So I hope that will answer your question. Right. And I have a chat
from Siddharth.
Yes, Siddharth says, I would like to know how to get the judgment summarized. I would like to know, okay, the same thing has been repeated. So summarized is, I think, it is a very, very important aspect, considering the fact that we have to go through thousands of judgments if we have to, prepare a strong case. And in our situation right now, it's moot courts or assignments. And even going through 10 judgments will take you a couple of hours. And God bless you if one judgment is running into 800 pages, you are stuck with that. So this is a valid question. So Siddharth, just to answer your question, SCC Online has head notes, which is the summary of the cases. Now, these summaries are not like you read the full case and we just give you a synopsis of it. No, it's not like that. This is the law points, the ratio of the case made available, and then on top of it, what a particular lordship spoke on that element, on that part of the judgment, on that point, will also be given to you. So let's take an example. Let's take an example of the Bombay blast case, the Mumbai terrorist attack case, right? So we all know it that this case was about the terrorist, right, and mass killing. But it also talks about different other law points. That is illegal entry in the country by the waterways, right? He never came with a passport or by the flight. He came through the waterways. So that is illegal entry into any territory on a country. Then illegal possession of arms and ammunition. Then connection with the international terrorist group. Going to the railway station, the local platform, without a railway platform ticket. He was also charged for that, Kasab. Then mass killing, obviously, for all those things. So if you look at it, we always look at a judgment like a fist, right? You can see this fist. Now, if we see the fist and we label it, it's a Bombay terrorist attack case. But when we start reading about it, this fist starts to open up. And when you open up, you see that there's different elements of points of law which have been discussed. Now these 5 points, now I only have, like I can't go beyond 5, so let's stick to 5. We have 5 points of law. Now, in order to understand all these 5 points of law, I have to read the full judgment. In SCC, what we do is, and that will answer this question of what Siddhartha raised. We give you the full judgment in a FIST format, and then we also give you these individual points of law separately in the judgment. So you read these points of law, these will have headings. And then the headings, they will have a point of law, and then that point of law, whatever was discussed, whatever was being authored by one judge, or if it was a divisional bench, or if it was a constitutional bench of 5 judges, 7 or 9 judges, whosoever spoke on that point of law will be in that small window. So that is what you're looking for. So we will answer that. Anything else before we get into this?
Chetan, also the remote access, Swati had told, they are using some
They have Nimbus.
Amazon. So
Yeah,
Nimbus,
yeah.
So that Nimbus, any of the students can just share the screen, or Swati ma'am can share the screen.
Yeah, what I will do, Chetan sir, what I'll do, I'll open my Amazon. That is what we did last time, and then we can show them how to register, and thereafter
That'll be good.
Perfect.
That'll be a perfect start now. Let's do that. So I'm over to you. I think I don't have any questions from the audience right now. So we'll start the session once you share the screen.
So, sir, just to query, you want to, so you can share the screen and show the software and the search points. After that, we can, just open my Amazon and just show them how to log in and register.
Okay, so we'll do that. No worries,
Right.
no worries. So, okay, so to everyone, now we're gonna jump into the session. So
it's just a suggestion, Chetan. It's just a suggestion. In case we can share the login procedure first. Some of these, I think, bright students, some of these bright students may like to log in along with you and try out few things while you are giving the session. So let's try out first the login arrangement. Please,
no problem. I'll
please,
share it. Right.
please.
That
will help everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sanjay sir, for joining us, first of all, and thank you for doing this. I think a lot of members are actually agreeing with you over here. So I think, yes, let's get on to that.
Yeah, I'll do that. Normally, we also teach by sharing the screen with students. I think it will be better for them.
Ma'am, do you want me to help with the... Okay, great. You know how to share the screen. Perfect.
Yeah, I have already, right. So I will just show the students how we go through the SCC. So here you can see, normally my Amazon and students is different, but this point is common. I hope you all can see the LMS Learning Management System.
We can.
So here we log into, we log into eLibrary, and there you can see this green icon, and thereafter we log into this. I hope the screen is visible to all of you.
We can, ma'am. We can see it.
Oh, okay. So this is our eLibrary virtual portal for students to research on varied streams. So here SCC will appear here. This. You can browse also, but it's easily available. So since I've already registered, my name will appear here. But let me just log out and try again if possible. Or I think so it will be better if you can give right to someone, because I'm already registered. I use SCC already, so I think it will be registered. Let me try.
The registration part, I can show it at my end. So if you can just show us simply how to go to that particular page.
Yes, I'll do that again.
Rest I will take it.
Okay, so here you can see the icon eLibrary. The green icon will appear. You open this in another new tab, and then in the eLibrary section, you just scroll down, and here you will. This is SCC. You can just click again. Yeah, just to give one hint, because I'm using it officially. So when you open this thing, there will be an option of register as a sign up, because you will be doing it for the first time. So you have to log in only with your Amity ID. Like all the students have their have their Amity ID, which you use for getting access to MS Team also. So same ID should be used, and thereafter you can make a password and log in and enter this particular tab. So here you can take over.
Swati ma'am, will you please click on the
This one?
dashboard, please? Please.
Okay, okay, I'll do that. So here is another new tab which opens up. Okay, okay, I think I will be able to show them. So here is the option of login, right? So if you have not logged in, then there is an option of register
Please,
also.
no, please select IP login here. That is the most important thing to care
Yes,
for.
yeah,
So
sorry.
when you select IP login, only then it will not ask for the password. Otherwise, it'll keep insisting on password, and you will not be able to log in. So first of all, select IP login, and those who are logging in for the first time, they have to come at the bottom here, which says register here.
Right.
And when
This,
you click, please, ma'am, please click on the register here part.
okay.
Just click on there. And now here, there is no complicated step, just typing your email ID and type your full name, and that's all. When you do that and you click on register and login, and you're there on the SCC online portal and start browsing.
IP login is important because we have taken subscription also.
So, ma'am, I believe you're already registered, so it's a login ID already registered. So this,
Right.
I think we had a question from Mr. Prabjeet Singh. I could not hear the name.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Please.
Sir,
Sorry.
sometimes IP login option is not there. So what to do?
IP login option.
Contact your IT department.
Right.
Simple solutions.
Right.
Or Swati ma'am. Or contact Swati ma'am
But
here.
normally through Amazon and MS Team, these are all connected IDs. It is connected. But yes, if there are issues, let me know. I'll try to connect with the IT.
You see,
to help
the
you out.
right department is ICT department. Your I think computer department, which handles everything. So I think the
Yes,
contact
sir, we
person
do
name
have
there
a,
is
yeah.
Mr. SS Bhandari. So
Okay.
people I think can share the number with each other, and Mr. Bhandari will be more than happy and willing to help everyone here.
Okay,
Yes,
sir.
sir, I will be sharing the details. There is Mr. Puneet who actually takes up all these queries, so I will be
Okay.
doing that kind of
All
thing.
right. All right. Thank you so much.
But Mr. Singh, Prabmeet Singh, you need to remember one thing. You have to follow the entire process what Swati ma'am just showed to you. If you are going to SCC directly,
Hmm.
you will not get the IP access. So, but if
Okay.
you're going through Amazon, then there is no reason why you would not have it. And if you still have it, that's the time you should be going to your IT person, right? But follow the process.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Thank you, sir.
ma'am. So we will take it from here.
Yes, sir, sure. I'll stop sharing.
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Raina, would you like to share the screen, or I think I'll just share the screen
Sure.
with the data coverage first, and then I will hand over because I have the data coverage sheet already open on my screen.
All right.
Uh, there we go. So we had reached till here. We all know how we reached. So we were here on the login screen. This is how the login page looked like. But now, before we jump into this detailing of it and how to use and whatever that was being raised in the starting, that can we have the head notes? Can we have the summary of the cases? Can we see the authority check? Can we see the overrule? Can I see the real status of my case? Those are all research part. So we'll jump into that in a moment. But before that, what is also important than just the user interface is the database. In what all databases would be, you'll be accessible through SCC Online. So let me have a quick show on that. You can go to data coverage and you can click on web edition and you can go through it whenever you have time. This is it's like a detailed one. I'll not go through this one. I'll go a small, concise one, updated one. So we have the Indian case laws from the all the Indian courts, that is Supreme Court, High Courts. We do not cover all the district court judgments, because they are not, they cannot be cited as a precedent in the courts, not even the district court itself. But you see the name of a district court appearing over here because there are few important judgments of the district court which had made a lot of, huge impact. So those handful of judgments have been brought in over here. Then we have a Privy Council federal court judgment, which were before independence, apex courts before Supreme Court of India came into existence. Those courts are available over here, all the high courts. Historical courts, something similar to Privy Council, but not the apex courts, but the provincial level courts like Ajmer, Goa, Lower Burma, Upper Burma, Pepso, Lahore. All these courts were there. So you can go through those courts. We have your various tribunals and commissions, including the APTEL, TDSAT, ITAT. All those are available over here. You can go through the list, right? Then the list continues over here. Then apart from these, we have your Indian Statutory Law, which gives you access to all the central and the state acts. And these are, before you have this question in your mind, these are all updated as on date. Then your rules and regulations, circulars, notifications and instructions, both state-wise and central notification, those are both available over here. Then bills in parliament as passed by one of the houses or as introduced in one of the houses, that will help you understand, in case there are two scenarios to it. In case you're reading the Bear Act and you want to go back and see what was initially introduced or what was the, what was passed by the Rajya Sabha or the Lok Sabha, you want to go through that, in the history, because you should not only be going to the history in terms of judgments, but also in the statutes. So you can see that. In case you want to see something has been lined up, something is being talked about in the parliament, and that will be coming in the coming future in the statutory world, then you can go through the acts or the bills passed by the Rajya Sabha. Then you have a constitutional orders which come in time to time. You have a secondary material. Now, I said few seconds back rather, that the history of acts are also important. Like we say, the history of judgments is also is important. Now, the Constitution of India, we all know Constitution of India. I'm sure we have started reading the Constitution of India by now. But if you do not go back and read the Constitutional Assembly debate, because that is the one debate which went on for almost like 2 years and 11 months, like close to 3 years. And the byproduct of those 3 years of 300 members sitting together, discussing about each and everything, what would be legal, what would be illegal. The byproduct of that is what we know it as Constitution of India. So if you're just reading the Constitution of India, not reading the Constitutional Assembly debate, you're missing out a huge chunk. You're missing out the intent why a particular thing was brought in. So you should read this. Where can you read this? I'll show it to you. It's a very simple 12 volumes of information. Then various reports of commission and committees which aids the law. Sometimes the analysis done by these commissions, help in developing a new law or bringing a new amendment. Like Law Commission of India is also part of one of the commission over here. Then legal articles from 62 top professional and scholarly art journals, which are not only from India, but from other international repute journals. Then you have bilateral and multilateral treaties. Sometimes the acts, sometimes, certain acts are a byproduct of these treaties, like Arbitration, Act, Arbitration and Conciliation Act. So if you're reading Arbitration and Conciliation Act, but you want to see that what happened in the treaty, what was discussed, you can see it. And those of you who have not seen the treaties, they are divided into chapters. So when you read a chapter, it will tell you that, okay, this chapter has been incorporated in the act in this particular section. So you read the intent and then you see the act as it is. So that really, makes your strong base really strong. Historical trials, few handpicked historical trials like Balgandhar Tilak case, Roger Casement case. Then policy documents. Now these are policy documents which are, pertaining to one ministry. So all the policies which are related to FDI, intellectual property, and others would be given in one place. Tiger Law lectures. People who are into have academic bent, who want to read something really, really value-added information, Tiger Law lectures would come in really, really handy. Then moot court resources. We all go for moot courts. We all want to go for moot courts. And sometimes we end up going to moot court, sometimes we don't. In both the cases, if you go, you might win the moot court, you might come second. What we have done over here in the moot court resources, we've been sponsoring a lot of moot courts. You know it, Amity and SCC has a close relationship from such a long time. We've been sponsoring a lot of moot courts for you guys. So what I've been doing, that once the moot court comes to a conclusion, comes to an end, we seek the information of the winning team memo and the best team memo, and the problem. And then we make it available for other public at large. So if you have missed out a moot court, or have you could not really win a moot court, and you want to see the winning team memo, those will be available over here. And that will help you also in preparation. Now, this is about Indian data. Apart from this, we also have a foreign material, which includes the most important English law reports from 1865 onwards, with the true prints. Now, this true print means that we'll give you the exact photocopy of how the judgments were published in the law reports. So even if you can't, even though you can't go to your library, but you still have the digital library with you. Okay. And this is, we're talking about 15,000 volumes of data. SCC is running into 400 something, not even 500 completely right now, 480 something, if I'm correct, the volumes that we have right now that we published. But because we have collaborated with so many other journals, ILR is one, which is the official report of High Court judgments. Then similarly, DRJ, DLT, Martial Law Times, Gaudy Law Times, all these we have tied up with. And then we're also bringing their true printouts, their exact photocopy of their journals. So you're getting digital copies of all these journals in one place. So foreign materials, English law, all the neighboring countries, all the SAARC countries, US, West Africa, South Africa, all those are available over here. Then parallel to this, we have international material. Now this international material means international courts. So foreign courts are other country courts. International courts are courts which are working on on the welfare of the entire world, and they're not restricted to one country. Like ICJ, I'm sure everyone heard of that in International Court of Justice, and then CCJs. Then similarly, all the other European Court of Justice, all these international courts data is also available. So when you deep dive into it, you are getting information not only from India but from the entire world. And now comes in the part that why do I need so much of information? Mr. Raina, could you please share your screen now? And before I get into this.
Sure.
Now, the question comes in while Mr. Raina is sharing his screen. The question comes in, why do I need so much of information? See, when you're doing a research, it's not a mandate that you will get one thing that you're looking for only in India or Indian judgments. Some topics which are not that well developed in India may be developed in other countries. So you take the inference, you take the learnings from there and apply it in your cases. Sometimes, it's the other way around. And when you're doing a research, you only don't want to see judgments. Sometimes you want to see the Constituent Assembly debates. You want to see the bills. You want to see the treaties. You want to see the acts. Everything should be there for you at your disposal. And that's why everything is made available. Mr. Raina, could we just log in now? Hello, Bhavna Batra ma'am. Thank you. Yes, we've been working with Bhavna Batra ma'am for a long time.
Yeah, hi Chetanji. Sorry for interruption. So it's good to see you back with us on a virtual platform. And I was in the middle of some important task, but when I saw you, it was all nostalgic, and I was again remembering the moot court hall and your presence in 2015, 15, 16, and then Sanjay ji was with us in Amity International Moot. So hello Sanjay ji, and thank you so much Swati ma'am for this interesting workshop for our students, which is really very insightful. And we have the best orators with us today. Chetan ji and Sanjay ji, you are the best as a team. And thank you SCC for connecting back with us in Amity Law School. Thank you.
So I think this session will really prepare the students well for your moot court skills and developing them better and taking your stories.
With Chetan ji is quite long, and Chetan ji, we're looking to have you back in the campus once things are resuming back. So thank you so much.
Anytime.
And you can continue with the session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bhavna ma'am. I think you're too kind with your words. In fact, we offer our gratitudes to you and all other faculty members, and also to Amity as an institution. I think everyone there is doing a great job. Thank you so much for giving us this privilege to address students. So
And
for us also, it's been a learning experience always.
And it is also for the students, if you want to see our events alive for years together, you can log into SCC blog anytime and you can have a panoramic view of what all we do in the moot courts. So thank you Swati ma'am once again, and now I think we can continue with the session. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Bhavna.
Thank
Thank you, Bhavna ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so
Sanjay
much.
sir, I think the bar has been raised now.
Well, every time when I think such learned and important people, I think of various law schools are saying some good words for you and for our team. In fact, we feel elated and we really wish to do even better. But thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's very generous of you, and it's very. In fact, your magnanimity is there to offer us such kind words. Thank you so much. So let's continue with the
Let's go.
detailing further because there's a lot to share, and we would like to, I think, share as much as possible in the given time frame. So back
So
to
I
you,
think,
Chetan, please.
thank you so much, sir. I think we will start with explaining this entire screen to you. Now, you remember one thing: whenever you're doing a research, never have this closed mindset in terms of that I will search with a party name only. I will not do a research. Otherwise, you need to be open, and these things will change. This thing will always change because depending on what you have with you will choose the required the information that is available on the screen. Now, as you can see on the screen, you have research plus tiles, which is blue color tiles. They work in a different way when you compare it with the red tiles, which is my library. Now, let me explain, the difference between the two tiles. We'll come to the gray tiles in the later part of the session. Now, see this. It says research plus word search, find by case law by section, find by citation, party name. As a name are very self-explanatory. You have a party name, you come over there. You have a citation, you go to that place. Now, this is all is asking for something before it gives you a retrieval of some databases, the results on one particular screen. So you type in something. But then if you want to go and have a tour in your virtual library, which is you can't because you can't go to your actual physical library, then I would invite you to my library. And when you come to the My Library part, it says browse curated topics, browse law report, browse judgment, browse acts. You don't have to type anything. You just simply have to click one option, one particular tab, and then you simply getting to see the information. We'll give you one example of this. And Sensor, I will change. I'm going to change the format for today's session. I want to give them what's the question were raised in the starting, and then going back to the normal things. So first thing, let's understand the browse. Mr. Rana, could I request you to click on browse acts and rules? Now, as the name says, we are browsing the acts. Now over here it says Constitution of India, Central Acts, Central Notification, State Acts, State Notification, and other international countries, acts. For the example's sake, we'll take Central Acts for now. So this gives you access to all the Central Acts. The preliminary acts which are used on a daily basis in the courts, those are available over here, and the remaining one alphabetically arranged. Can you search for a particular act? Yes, there's a filtration option. There's a funnel option over there. You can type it over there. So I'm going to leave that part. I'm sure everyone knows how to type it into a filter. Now, Mr. Raina, could you take this example of Evidence Act? It's over there. Click on the plus sign of Evidence Act. Great. And then let's take the Principal Act. Now, what's so great about going through Bayer Act? Why am I starting this session with this example? Now, see this. It's a full Bayer Act. Mr. Anna, could you please scroll down gently and slowly over here? So you see all the sections are made available over here. These are all hyperlinked. So if you click on any of this, it will jump to the section of your choice. But keep scrolling down. We'll go with the old school method of scrolling. And let's get to the starting of this act. Now, these Bayer Acts are available on Google, the books. Then there are a lot of applications on Google Play Store, App Store, when Evidence Act, IPC, complete section-wise is made available. So why am I investing all of our time on this? Now see this, it's a blue color box which coming over here. Mr. Arnab, could you please scroll down?
Chetan, we can also highlight that these are 2600 central acts which are now available on this portal. So even if when you are not there in the campus, you're sitting at your home. So with this SSC platform, you have access to uh, vast and ocean-like information of your choice. You have law reports having more than 15,000 volumes of Indian and international law of various publication houses. These are original volumes being given to you to access under their license. So no one, I think, is breaching the copyright license here. We are paying royalties for each one of you. That is for the libraries of various law reports, and then ocean-like information of central acts, state acts, and also rules, orders, schemes, international treaties, conventions, committees, and commission reports, which includes law commission reports and huge information coming from various law journals, academic law journals. Earlier, the law journals were about 40. Now these are about 62. And
62.
some of these are international law journals as well, which include Singapore Academy of Law Journal. I think somebody, one of the student was very curious to know about the case laws coming from SIAC, Singapore International Arbitration Center. So we will, I think, show you how you can see Singapore. In fact, related information, you have the access to that as well. But Singapore International Arbitration Center, as such, the agreements are very long and very descriptive. You will have only access to the judgments which have reached to the Supreme Court there. So huge information. Back to you, Chetan, please.
Thank you. So now coming back quickly to where we were, you see these blue color boxes. Now, those of you who have gone through the Evidence Act would agree with me that this is not the language of the Bail Act. It says applicability. The Evidence Act has no application and other things. And then at the end, it says Union of India versus T.R. Verma. And the citation is given over there. That's 1957 citation. You move to the second para, there's a different citation altogether, 1977, and then you have 1962 and others. What is happening over here is we have a in-house editorial members who make the head notes, like we talked about the law points, the Kasab example that I gave in the starting. So we have a in-house 150 members team who've been working with us not for 1 year or 2 years. The average span of an employee in our company, or a member, if I correct myself, is 12 to 15 years above. That's the average or time that anyone spends. So all these members who have been doing the same work, they are giving you important judgments on a point of law, on the points of that has been discussed in the Bail Act. Now on applicability, there might be tons of thousands of judgments. But then, as per my team, they're saying that this is one judgment of Union of India, which you should be referring to. The second one is this, third one is this. Now, the good part is, if I click on any of this citation, Mr. Raina, could you please scroll down and we go further? There's something on national justice as well. And keep scrolling down so they can see that we can show to other members that this is not only for one particular act or not one particular section of the act, but the entire act. Now, if you see this on evidence and the evaluation of evidence, let's take this evaluation of evidence. It says men may lie, but circumstances do not. It's the cardinal principle of evaluation of evidence. Mr. Rana, could you please click on the citation? One click on the citation will open the full judgment. So this is a fast track, access to important judgments on a point of a particular point that has been discussed in the Bail Act. You get this, you get the full judgment, is available over here. If this makes sense to you, your research is done. If not, then the other ways of researching we'll be talking in the due course of time. And the next thing is that you can also save this entire document onto SCC or offline as well by clicking on save icon over there. That's a save icon. You can save it onto your machine locally, or you can also make it a folder in SCC. That's the first option, Mr. Raina. That's the option of add to folder. We'll talk about that, how to add folders in a later part. Now let's go back to that same screen of that is called dashboard. So by clicking on the 9 dots, we're back to this. So that's how the browse part works. No typing, no nothing. Let's see it on the search part. Mr. Raina, let's start the search today with party name. Now we talk about that, how can I see if a judgment is overruled or not? And, I can say it in one way that, oh, judgment is overruled. But, sooner or later, someone will correct me that, Chetan, you're saying that judgment is overruled. The statement is not correct. judgment has, like, remember the example of fist and the fingers? The fist is a judgment. When you open it up, these are points of law which we discuss. Unless until all these 5 points have been overruled, if there were 5 points, then it is right to say the judgment is overruled. But out of, let's say, 5, only 2 have been overruled and the 3 are still a good law. That means the judge saying the judgment is overruled is incorrect. How do you see the difference? How do you can have the differentiation? So let's take one example. Mr. Rana, would you like to open this case of Golaknath? We all know this case has been overruled. So Mr. Rana will be going to the search by court, and have not given him any court name. Is it Supreme Court, High Court? So he'll go for all jurisdiction because he has no idea where this case belongs to. Just write Golak and start search. Just write Golak and start search. So how many results? 67 results. So do you remember the other party name? It's Golak Nath. You can just put that. And do not write verses in between. I remember the party name is Golak Nath versus State of Punjab. But let's start with this. So just write the names. Don't write verses or anything. And this names can be in any format. Mr. Rana, could you please search? And the last one, 1967. Perfect. Now we see we also got Guwahati, Calcutta, and one another from Guwahati, wherein Golak Nath name was appearing. But I'm looking for Supreme Court judgment. That's the one. Please double click on this and let's see the results. Now, once the results comes on the screen, we will have this fist and the finger concept very clear. Now see this on the first column, it says 120 points of law has been discussed in this judgment and one judgment. So digest notes are called as ratio of the case, digest of the case, or law point, head notes, or case notes. Different people have different names for it, but I think you got the point because we have already discussed about this at the starting. Now it says 120 points of law, right? Then we come to the second column. The second column says Supreme Court J11 and say 27th of February 1967. The party name is given over here along with the citation. Now, what does this J means? J means it's a full judgment. It's a full text of the judgment. And 11 signifies how many members, how many judges are part of the quorum. What was the bench strength? So there are 11 judges in the quorum. So this will also help you in figuring it out that the case that you're going to be citing in your moot court or in your assignments, is it a higher bench judgment or a lower bench judgment, right? And then you come to the second entry, it says D11. We have already established the fact what 11 stands for. So D, what does D means? D means it's a digest note. Mr. Raina, could you please highlight that? Yeah. So digest note means that's one of the law point. So like this, you see there are different points of law. It says the meaning of state was discussed, the meaning of declared, meaning of estate, meaning of fundamental rights, constitutional statutes, orders and amendments, and other things. You're just reading the headings. Like I said in the starting, you'll get all the headings. We'll come to that in a bit. Let's focus on the judgment part first. Now in the judgment, it says before Chief Justice Subha Rao, Justice Vanchu, Justice Ayatullah, Justice Shah, and other members' name. But out of the 11 members, only 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 names are in bold. What does that signify? It simply means that these are the 4 judges who have authored the judgment. The remaining 7 judges, no, 7, yeah, 7, 4. Yeah, 7. The remaining 7 judges did not author, probably they just concurred with these 4 judges. Now, the next thing that comes in handy over here is, now the 4 names are in bold. I want to read what Justice Hidayatullah spoke in this judgment. I want to see only his view, his part of the judgment. I can click on his part of the judgment, and I jump to his, his text of the judgment. I can read that. I click on his name again. I'm back on the top, which simply means that I can read a particular judge's judgment. Now, in this entire judgment, we have seen everything that, okay, this is the head note, this is the judgment, this is the parties over here and the judges' names. But now we're talking about the overruled part. How can I figure out something is overruled or not? See, if you Google it out, if you look at any other software, they'll say on the top of judgment, the judgment has been overruled in some XYZ case. We would not do that. What we would do in this place, Mr. Raina, could you please scroll down a bit in the second column? And we're looking for an overruled law point. Now, how do I differentiate something which is an overruled law point and something which is not an overruled point? Now, see, till now, you're only seeing D and 11. There's nothing extra or there's nothing more in those brackets, in those small capsule information. Now, this simply means that nothing has been overruled. Now, if you see the 61st entry, there's a small red exclamation mark that has started appearing, and only on that one. If you take a cursor on that red exclamation mark, it says this point has been overruled. Let's click on this point of law. And there it says Article 368 of the Constitution of India alongside with preamble, limitation imposed by preamble, if any. As per the minority, this was the view, this was the opinion, but this has been overruled in Kesavan Bharti case. I can keep scrolling down further in the second column. And I will see if there's some more points of law. So you see 67 point, 68 point are again overruled. I can click on them one. And there we see it, right? Similarly, it'll give you information. But now, this is such a tedious task. Going through 120 points of law one by one is not going to help me a lot. So, to all my friends, this is one suggestion I would like to make. Irrespective of the fact you open a judgment with the help of citation or a party name, your first step going forward after this session should be you open the judgment like this. You go to the SCC Online logo on the top left. Just below that, there's an option of search within search result, that is a sub search. And you should type the word overruled over there. That should be the first search, irrespective of the judgment. If it's a new judgment, old judgment, you should be doing this search first. What's going to happen now is going to filter out all the points of law which have been overruled. Now we see this, the point number 2, point number 3, point number 4 have been overruled. The point number 5 is not overruled because it doesn't have the exclamation mark. So probably a word overruled was coming in the judgment text or in the head note text. So that's not overruled. And if you keep scrolling down, you've got all the points of law which have been overruled. So you see the remaining 2 are not overruled. So if I minus, so out of 15 out of minus 3, so 12 points of law has been overruled in the judgment of 120 points of law. So 108 are still a good law. And how much time did we take? Less than a minute if you actually go straight into the overruled part. In less than 1 minute, you get to know the bifurcation. You get the bifurcation of what is overruled and what is not overruled. And then you can start with your search, right? And quickly doing an authority check. I want to see where this case was being referred, relied on, cited as a precedent. Mr. Raina, could you take a cursor on that? So there we have it. This is the small icon, which is the magnifying glass. It says case reference. One click on this, and you will get all the cases where this case was being cited. So you pick up one case, which you think is relevant to your, case at hand. Then you come over here and click on case reference. You get all the subsequent judgments where in this case was being cited. So what is happening? You just opened a Pandora box. One click, one judgment will lead you to how many judgments over here? 85. And if you click on the plus sign of 85, it's giving you bifurcation. In Supreme Court, there are 51 judgments. In High Court, there are 17 judgments. In foreign cases, in the foreign jurisdiction, this case is being cited. Do you want to see that, Mr. Raina? Click on the foreign cases, plus sign. In Bangladesh, South Africa, UK, for that matter, and US. Other countries are also referring our judgments over here. And you get all the referencing, and that too in the tribunals, articles, and some commission's report too. And if you can see Mr. Raina, could you take the second case, Madhu Limya? So it says, talking about constitutional law, this case of 1970, please scroll down further, the third column. So in this it says the reference of Goraknath case. Okay, let's take the fourth entry. And in this it says IC Goraknath case was being. Could you please scroll down? Along with other cases, IC Goraknath was impliedly followed. Now, though IC Goraknath is what Goraknath case is what we were looking for, but we also got these cases: ECIL versus Karunakar, then the Somia Organics, then the state of Haryana and Justice and Mr. Harsh Dhingra case, Raymond Limited and all. All these cases, along with Goraknath, were impliedly followed. That means all these cases would be of your relevance. I think you just need to find one important judgment and your research starts, will just kick off from there. Okay, this is a basic entry, basic search. When you have something specific, how can you get the results, right? Mr. Raina, let's go back to the dashboard. We'll come back to the word search with one more example. Let's go back to, no, let's go back to dashboard. Thank you. Now that's one way of searching. Let's go to words and phrases. Sometimes you're looking for a dictionary meaning of a particular word. If that's a choice that's a thing that you have on your plate, then come to words and phrases. Write a particular word that you want to see the definition of. Mr. Raina, could you just write the meaning, the word goodwill over here? Excuse me. So we'll give you the definition of goodwill coming from judgments, Bayer Acts, then the legal dictionary, that is Wharton Dictionary of Law. Wherever this particular word was been defined, it will give you all the definitions in one place. So if you can see, and how would you see that where this definition is coming from? If you see the first entry, Mr. Raina, could you please scroll down, scroll up to the first? It says is intangible in nature and so forth, and then it says the party name CIT versus C. Srinivasa Sethi. That is 1981 judgment, and the second definition is coming from again a particular case. Upar. For third, right? Yeah. So the second definition is coming from this case. Third is coming from a different case, and then can we see there's a what definition over here? ऊपर निकल गई वो शायद. Let's go back. हाँ ऊपर जाइए. Yeah, there it is. So if you see the fourth definition, the employed therein in consequence of general public patronage and encouragement, which is received and other things, it says what. Now, what does what means? What is a Wharton Dictionary of Law? So it's a dictionary meaning of a particular word. There'll be few words, and I don't want to hide anything from you. This is still being in progress. We are adding information on, I think, on a daily basis over here. If there's a chance, there are chances that you will not find some legal word meaning. Do not get disappointed or get disheartened. There's a different way. There's another way you can search the meaning of a particular word that will show in the last, that is a word search. Mr. Raina, let's go back to word search. So let's go back to the dashboard. And now we go to the second option, that is find by citation. So we talked about find a party name, specific search, get the results. Now we're getting into a specific search again when we have a citation. Now I would not have always have citation of SCC. I might have a citation of AIR, sometimes I might have an Indian appeals citation, sometimes others. So am I stuck? No, you're not. What's going to happen if you see the drop down over here? It says Supreme Court, all the Supreme Court citations are available over here, AIR, ITR, Accident Claims Law, Indian Appeals, Gujarat Law Herald, and others. So are these the journals? We have a tie-up with them? No. What we're doing is we're giving you equivalent citation of all these journals. So irrespective of the fact you have any citation with you, you can come into SCC and you can search with it. Mr. Raina, you want to take any particular journal citation over here? So Mr. Raina is showing you now that you can also type in if you don't want to scroll through it. So Mr. Raina is taking AI. Let's take AR Supreme Court, yeah. And take any random citation of your choice. 29. Okay. Now wait a sec. Have you clicked on it? Okay, no worries. ठीक है, कोई problem नहीं. चलने दो. What I was trying to show was that when you put in the bare minimum citation at 2019 and you leave the second the space bar open blank, it gives you the index of the entire volume. That first judgment was coming on page number 1, second was coming on this and that, and so on and so forth. Mr. Anna is insisting that we should do it again and we show it to you. So we'll go with what Mr. Anna is saying. Mr. Anna is saying that we should not leave anything for, though we are on the way, so that's what we have it. 1, 24, 54, 66, 69, 72, the entire, indexing of the volume is given over here. So you can never go wrong with the citation. If someone has given you 25 and you come over here and see 24, it's a 24 is the right citation, not 25. And Mr. Anna, could you please click on the second entry? And please scroll down to the citation bit. Now, if you see SCC citation, AIR citation, AIC, Cuttack Law Times, Criminal Law Journal. So all the journal citations is made available to you, irrespective of the fact which one you have. If one of these citations that you have in your hand, you'll be able to get to this judgment. This judgment is not of AIR. It's not their copy, like Sanjay sir was saying in the starting. The copyright issue, yes, we have tied up with a lot of journals, but not with all of them. So we cannot provide their citation, their version of the judgment. Moreover, there's a quality check that is involved, so we can take responsibility of our own content, not any other journal content if you don't have a tie-up. So this document that you're seeing is the document which is of SCC. The judgment is of SCC, right? Mr. Anna, I would like to show one more thing over here. Now, this, if you see, the digest note has 6 and judgment is 1. And Mr. Anna has clicked on this second head note. Can you scroll down on the top of this head note? It's talking about criminal law, penal code, section 299 to 304, culpable homicide and murder, trial, sentencing and other issues, sentence of death sentence, review petition against death sentence. Now you have not even read the full head note, but you understood that what the case is about. It's about challenging the death sentence and probably having a mercy plea before asking for that you should not get the death sentence. And then you go to the next part. It says section 302, 376, 2F and read with 377 of IPC. Rape and murder of 3-year-old case proved on basis of circumstantial evidence. Review petition against death sentence reduced to imprisonment for entire life without remission. Factors and consideration thereafter, including subsequent developments during pendency of these matters before Supreme Court. As DNA evidence not produced before court and so on and so forth, please scroll down at the end. Now, if you read this, this is something which makes sense to you. If you see at the bottom, it says para 59 to para 81. That means this entire thing that you just read is a summarization of para 59 to 81. We're giving you the summary of the cases, yes. But like I said in the starting, we'll also be giving you point-wise analysis. This is a point-wise analysis. Then on this point was discussed. That's a brief of it. But then if you want to read more on this, if this is something relevant to you, you should go to the judgment and start reading from para 59, going till para number 81. So that saves a lot of time, right? Mr. Rana, let's, can we see a true printout over here in this? Let's get to the judgment. No judgment. We have to first go to the judgment, yeah. Now we've been talking about the true copy, the exact copy, your virtual, giving you a virtual library. What is it? Now we see the print option over there. There are two options. One is true print, the other one is a non-true print. Non-true print basically means you'll give you how this particular screen looks like. The copy of this layout will come in the printout. However, the true print, what Mr. Raina has chosen, the first option, it'll give you this particular screen. He's choosing to take 2 pages right now. So please, let's say print. And there we have it. Now, those of you who have seen the law report in the library would agree with me. Those who have started their, this SEM or their journey of being a future advocate, virtually, you have to go with my words. Trust me, this is exactly how the law report looks like. Okay, that's the first page. You scroll down further, you get the second page appearing right over here. That's about it. You can do a Control S, Control P to save or print. Those all things works easily, or you can use the icons. Let's go back, Mr. Raina. Now, the question that comes a lot of times, that is, how can I copy a certain paragraph of a judgment? Because whenever I download something from SCC Online, it becomes a PDF file and I cannot highlight, I cannot copy anything. Yes, you cannot. And the reason for that is very simple. We give you PDF files so that the courts can rely on that particular thing, saying that this is original document. Nothing has been changed, not even a single letter. So it speeds up your case, because there's less of checking and matching the document if it's correct document or not. And then simply the judges can simply go in the full swing of showing and just deciding judgment basis on the document has been submitted in the court, because it's authentic. So what is the other option? See, you get to the judgment, head notes cannot be copied. You get to the judgment and you try to highlight. There are a few judgments, few documents which will let you highlight. You'd highlight something. You can do a Control C, Control V, like we all know it, how the copy paste works. You can do that. But then there are few judgments, there are few documents which will not let you highlight at all. Like one like this that you see on the screen. Mr. Raina must be trying to highlight, it will not let him highlight. So what you're going to do is, he's going to click on these clipboard icons before each and every paragraph. And he's doing a single click. So you can see this small green tick on that. So you take these. So I've taken 3 paragraphs. And then now he goes on the top. And then he says smart copy. So you select those paragraphs and you click on smart copy. All those 3 paragraphs will be copied into a different window. And there you have it. Para number 1, para 2, para 3, along with the party name and the page number and the citation is given over here. And please scroll up. You can also send this onto your email address. So by default, your Amity ID would be mentioned over here because you'll be logging with that. Or you can send it to someone else as well. There's no hard and fast rule that you have to send it to yourself. You can send it to anyone else as well. Even if that means that you have to send it to your Gmail ID, which does not have access to your access to SCC Online, even then you can do that, right? And from here, you can highlight as much as you want and copy it in the Word file, paste it, it will work. Okay, so highlight, do a single click or number of paragraph that you want, and smart copy, that's about it, right? Sure. So Kanika wants me to quickly repeat this step. So let's do that, Mr. Raina. So Mr. Raina is taking para number 5. So one single tick. Let's take para 7 and then 6. It will remember the sequencing as well. And now go on the top. It says smart copy. Click on that. Your paragraphs will be copied into a different window. So that's a step. So para 5, please scroll down. Para 7 and then followed by para 6, because that's how we selected the sequence, right? So I hope that answers your question, Kanika. Please close this. Perfect. Now, Mr. Raina, I was wondering, should we show how to add folders over here? If you agree, please move your cursor from up to down. Okay, it's like this. Okay. So in case this judgment is relevant to you and you're doing a research and you don't want to save everything onto your machine, because then your machine dependent, you have to carry that machine everywhere. The better way is that what if I give you a cloud storage and which has no limit? It's not like Google Photos who have said that now 15 GB is the maximum limit. Anything that you put beyond that, you would need to buy a space. It's not like Apple cloud service, which gives you 5 GB for free. Of course, no. They're giving you absolutely, limitless space over there. You can add as many documents as you want. But the only thing is, you cannot upload a document from outside. You can only add a document from within SCC Online. Now, how do we do that? Let's suppose this is a judgment that is relevant to me. I click on this option that says add to my SCC Online folder. Click on this. And it says add to folder Raja. I'm not going to mispronounce someone's name, so I'll leave it over there. Change folder. So that's the last folder probably what Mr. Raina has saved. So my folder, I want to create a new folder. So I say new folder. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to write Amity University, Noida as a folder name. And that will simply make a folder for me. And going forward now, I will be able to save as much as you want. Click on that again, and then you can write Amity Noida. Okay. And select folder. So there we have it. Okay. This particular judgment has been saved in that folder. We'll come to that later, how we access it. We'll add a couple of more judgment into it. Mr. Raina, let's go back to dashboard. So we're done with a couple of options. Now let's come to find case law by section. If you want to see the judgment on a particular section of an act, then how do we go about it? Swati ma'am, anything that you want to say?
No, please continue.
Okay. Now this is for, there are two ways you can find judgment on a particular section of a law, of an act. One, this is a more guided tour. So Mr. Raina, I think we should take a Contract Act, because considering the fact everyone would have gone through Contract Act by now. Do not write the word Indian. Don't write Indian Contract Act, Indian Evidence Act. Just write the second word. Remove the word Indian. Okay. And let's take section number 17 and click on go. That's about it. You will get your judgments on section 17 of the Contract Act in front of you within no time. There we have it. You can see it, section 17 is coming over here. It's simple. And now if you see this, till now we were dealing with specific cases, party name, citation cases. So one judgment was coming. Now if you see there are 240 judgments. Now if you see the center column, it says Bahurao Dadgu Palalkar. Wow. This is one judgment. Now, if you read the text of the judgment, it's the head note. It's coming over here. You read about it. Mr. Raina, please scroll down slowly to the end of the judgment, or end of this head note. So this is the entire head note. I'm reading about it. Get to the last. And this is 2005 judgment. So if this is not relevant to me, I jump to the, let me take the third one. So Mithulal Nayak, I read this one. This is, I think, okay, this is not even relevant to me. Let's take the second one now. And now I read this, I'm like, yeah, this is something relevant to what I'm looking for. But this is just a head note. This is not a judgment. How can you get to the judgment from here? First thing first, what we were doing right now, we were going through different cases on the point of law that we have asked for. It's section 17 of the Contract Act. After reading 3 judgments, I realized that, okay, this judgment is relevant to me. Now this judgment is relevant to me. How can I see the full judgment? Can you see the citation 2007 SCC 434? It's hyperlinked. Click on that. Your full judgment will open up over here. So you're going through the head notes, read the head notes, and then you get to the full judgment. And there you have it. Okay, please close. Can you add this as well into the folder? So we'll add this. So by default, Amity Noida is there. Okay, please close this. And there we are. Let's go back to the dashboard. So we've done major part of this. Now we're left with 2 main searches before we get into the browse. That is word search and find by topic. Let's go with the find by topic first. Word search is just like your Google search. So it's so vast that we would like to spend a lot of time over there. So first, we're now getting towards how to do word search. But this is now again a guided tour. Now, what does a guided tour means? See, there's a topic tree, there's a topic list that every publisher would have. AIR has it, AIR has their own manual, SCC has their own digest, and similarly, other journals have their respective journals, the topics. Now, all the topic tree has a principal topic, and the under principal topic, there are several subtopics. How does it matter to why does it matter to you? In order to understand the topic and understand the hierarchy of how a particular topic has been evolved or has been made available. So now let's Mr. Anna, could you please scroll down the center big screen over here? Please scroll down. Let's say something simpler. Okay, let's take this contempt of code. Now, if I click on contempt of code, the subtopics which comes under contempt of code are available over here: appeal, review, civil contempt, contempt by advocates, contempt petition, criminal contempt, defenses, maintainability, object, and other things, suo motu and all stuff. Now, what is the purpose of this? Mr. Anna, could you please take the civil contempt? Please scroll up. So if I click on civil contempt, and then there's an option over here: search everywhere, search in digest notes, search in headings. So we'll come to that. That what is the differentiation between these things. Let's start search first. Let's simply click on go. It has given you a list of topics, so you don't have to think of a topic. Iska naam kya tha? And you click on that, you click on go, you'll get the results wherever the civil contempt word is occurring. Okay. Now see the results. They are digest notes 736 and the total results are 4041. Mr. Raina, can I request you to go back to that same screen? And find my topic. Go with the same thing. Now we can search for it as well. Mr. Raina, can we search for that? Civil contempt. So there's nothing that you have to write it all the time. Yes, search. So there it is. You click on that, it's the same entry, right? But just a selected one. Now let's come to the bottom entry. It's like search everywhere, search in digest notes, search in headings. Now, search everywhere, we have already seen it. It will search everywhere that particular word is coming. Let it be judgment, head notes, acts, rules, articles, wherever the word is occurring, it will give you everything on. Search in digest notes, on the other hand, will give you a precise search and will give you, in case you're in a hurry and you want to see the information, the pearls of wisdom, rather than going through all that information that is available in the entire database. You want to see the precise information, then you go for search in digest notes. Now, digest notes are also being searched in search everywhere, but that was for all the courts, Supreme Court, High Court, and other foreign courts as well. When you click on search in digest note and start search, it will then give you only the head notes, and that too only from Supreme Court of India. So you are not reading everything, you are reading only 415 documents which are related to contempt of code and are coming from the Apex code. So you choose how you want to see the information, right? Let's go back to the same thing. The third one is the search and heading. For that, I will have to take another example. Let's take the example of police. Now see, the police is coming in so many entries like service law, criminal law, and all stuff. Now let's take criminal law. Is there an entry of police? There it is. Now, if I want my software to follow the hierarchy, that is criminal law and then police, then I would have to search for search in headings. And similarly, Mr. Rana, could you please click on service law and search for police individual entry over here? There it is. And if I now click on search in headings, it will now not give me criminal law or police. It'll give me service law and police. So it'll follow the hierarchy. If you want to follow the hierarchy, then go for search and headings. Okay. So we'll leave this now over here. And now let's get to our most favorite and most used tab or a tile, that is word search. Let's get into that. How do we do search over here? Whatever that we've learned till now in the all the tabs, party name search, citation search, a particular topic search, meaning of a particular word, all that can be done over here. How? Mr. Rana, could you scroll down a bit on the screen? And see this, it says at the bottom search area, search in entire document, search in digest notes. That means the same topic guide. If I want to search only in digest note, you come over here. Search by party name, you can click on party name and then put the party name on the top. It will give you the searches. You can search by author names. You can search by only citation. You can write the citation and say that this is not a random house number or all. This is a citation. So search only in that area of citation. Now, if you've noticed, we have defined the area. Citation comes at one place, right? The digest comes at one place. The party name just comes above the citation and so on and so forth. And then it says quorum only. In case you have a very vague entry, a vague proposition of law to search with, you think that you will not be, will not lead, it will not lead you to anywhere. What you're going to do is you have remember the judge's name. Then you come over here and say quorum only search. So you'll search the judge's name. But we'll do that later on. Let's understand the word search in its entirety. Mr. Rana, let's start with one simple word search. If you're looking for the latest judgments on any topic of your choice, let's say defamation, corruption, or arbitration, or murder, whatever it is, that's how you write it on Supreme on Google, right? Remove everything. There's nothing as such required. Latest judgment from Supreme Court of India on corruption not required. Remove all of this. My suggestion is very simple. When you're doing a search on SCC online, write only the principal words. Do not write anything else. So if you're looking for a word, if you're looking for judgment on corruption, just write the word corruption and start search. Why am I saying that? Let's get to the search first. I said I want the latest judgment from Supreme Court, but I did not write it over there. Why? You see the total results that we got is around 58,000 results. The left side bifurcation gives me that layout or tree structure when I can see how many judgments, how many acts, how many bills have been searched on this topic. But then if you click on the plus sign of judgments, it also gives me an option that I want to see only Supreme Court, only Federal Court, only Privy Council, High Court. I can select that. So I want to see only Supreme Court. So I'll take my cursor in front of Supreme Court. There's only option. I click on only. It has removed all the other databases and it's just given me Supreme Court of India judgments. So I got corruption. I got Supreme Court. What's the third thing I need? Third thing I need is I want to see the latest judgment. Is it the latest judgment? 2018? No. So how can I get the latest judgment? I go to sort by. And in sort by, I go to chronological, latest, first. That's about it. So 3rd of June. What date is it today? 6th, 5th, 5th. So on 5th of July, I have of 5th of June, July, sorry. So we have a 3rd of June judgment over here. Vinod Dua versus Union of India case is awaiting over here. And the second one is again the 3rd of June, then May and so on and so forth. So you get to see the later judgment simply by putting one. What else can we do? Let's go back. Can you, Mr. Rana, wait a sec. Okay, okay. Let's go back. No, okay, no problem here. This is one word search. What if you're looking for, words which are made up of 2 or 3 words? Let's take this word that is political thicket. Mr. Rana, could you please write that? Now, political thicket is given over here. If I do a start search, it will actually give me 3 searches. Political thicket as one word, political coming separately, thicket, though it will not come separately, but even if it's coming, it will give me that search as well. I don't want that. I want political thicket to come as a legal phrase, as a one word. So to make it as one word, I'll put double inverted commas around it. And this is for all the legal phrases: public interest litigation, culpable homicide, res judicata, all these words, when it's made of more than one word, put double inverted commas, and you'll get your results. So political thicket, wherever this has been occurring, it comes over here. Let's go back. Let's introduce another element of search over here. Go to word search. What if I want to see something which is more of a sentence? Should I write the entire sentence, or do I need to go with the same principle of picking up only the important points of law from the proposition of law? Go with the principle. Go with only the points of law. Now, if I'm looking for judgments wherein there was a case being filed in the court due to medical negligence, right? The patient went to the court and filed the case, and I want to see all the cases of medical negligence. So one way is I can write medical negligence, and because again the medical negligence are 2 words, how will I write? In double inverted commas. So medical negligence and double quotes. Now you see there's many options are coming at the bottom. You can see it, you can pick it up if something is relevant to you, otherwise leave it. I can do a start search, but I will not. I have something more on my mind. I want to see judgments of medical negligence, but where the compensation was awarded to the party. So should I write that where the compensation was awarded to a party, or it's a medical negligence case, something of that? Put in my sentence, no. Medical negligence, 1. Second, I'm looking for cases of compensation. Just write the second word compensation. Just write the word compensation. So keep it simple, keep it short and simple, keep it concise. It'll take you a long way. But now, if I do a start search, it will give me the results. And this is how we all do it. We just write a couple of words and you think, let's start the search. It'll give you the search, no doubt about it. But it'll also give you some extra results. My purpose of coming over here with Mr. Raina and Mr. Sanjay Kapoor sir is to help you reduce your time of researching so that you can invest quality time on whatever that you have in your hand. So this search is perfect, but how can you make it better? It will not make sense if medical negligence and compensation is coming in 2 different paragraphs. It will only make sense if they are coming in, in relevance to each other, in near each other. So I want them to occur near each other. What will I do? I'll write the word near in between. Mr. Raina, just write the word near. Near has to be written in capitals. And now if you see, the moment that we wrote near, the Boolean operator has been selected. Earlier, the Boolean was not selected, it was all words. And now start search. It'll give you all the searches where in this particular, element of choice that you're asking for was being discussed. Compensation determination of quantum of medical negligence, and the results are in front of you. The head notes are available for you. You can go to judgment, you know how to go for it, right? Mr. Anna, could you want to just open one judgment and add this as also in the folder? This is an order, बहुत छोटा है, छोड़ दो. Let's take this one quickly. Again, the folder, Amity, Noida. Now you must be wondering, where am I saving this? We'll come to that. Let's take another example. So let's go back to word search. What if you have a sentence? Sentence like, I think I'll come back to sentence in a bit. What if you need to have this, we search for right now medical negligence and compensation. Can I break the searches into smaller capsules? I can certainly do that. Let's suppose I want to see the judgments on public interest litigation. Mr. Arnab, could you just write public interest litigation? Again, double quotes, because that's a legal phrase. I want to see public interest litigation in respect to human rights. So I can write human rights over here, but I will avoid it. I'll just remove it. Let's do a start search. Why am I showing it? Because I'm showing another way. You can also break your searches. How can you break your searches? Remember we did the sub search. So the same sub search is available over here. I am writing now human rights in the sub search. There are 6 sub searches that you can perform in one go. Human rights. What's going to happen is it's going to search for human rights within only 21,000 results, not in the entire database. So it's a sub search. And once you read this, what is the benefit of doing a sub search? I can cross it. I can go back to my original search. You see this cross icon on the human rights? You click cross on that. You're back to your original search. I can do another sub search. Let's say human rights, or like let's take human rights. Okay, Mara. Let's take national parks or animal abuse for that matter. Anything of that sort, you can search with that, and that sub search will continue from there. So you don't have to go back and start your search. Okay. Let's add this judgment as well in the search, in the folder. So, okay. So I think we'll stop over here. We'll come. I have a couple of, I think, more examples, but I think keeping a track of time, I think I'll just have a couple of more minutes. So I'll get to the browse part. So ma'am, how much time would I have?
Actually, the session was scheduled till 4:30, so we can, I think, continue till 5. So I think after some time we can take up some questions if the students have any.
Another 7 or 10 minutes, I think I'll be done with the entire thing, and then I'll open it to everything on top. That's the maximum time I need.
Okay, no problem.
So we've done the word search. We'll come to the word search again. Let's come to the browse part, so that's also going to help you a lot. Let's start with the first one, browse curated topics. Now, as the name suggests, curated topics. Now, those members who are with us, there's something that you will have an extra edge over others. Everyone would be doing a search by the traditional way of words and all. On the other hand, you will have some extra help available. That is through this. Let's take one example. And so these are different topics. So I have public law, corporate and commercial law, intellectual property, and others. I'm going to take, let's take Mr. Raina, environmental law. I think everyone understands that. Everyone relates to that. Mr. Raina, just give me a moment. I'm getting a call from the High Court. Balram, sir, I'm just in a session. Can I give you a call back, sir? Sir, thank you so much, sir. I'll call you. Yeah. My apologies to everyone. It was a director from one of the Judicial Academy. I could not skip the call. Please take my apologies. Now, if you see this, on the environmental law, there are a few topics that we have shortlisted. That is biological diversity, climate change, noise pollution, and all. Now, Mr. Anna, could you click on one of this? Okay, biological diversity, great. So now on biological diversity, it says statutory law is there, rules, notification, case law, treaties, committee, reports, policy document, articles. So much is given over here. Now, what is this? Click on statutory law. We have brought all the acts which are related to this topic, and for that matter, any topic that you will select. Now, Biological Diversity Act, yes, the entire act, is related to this topic. But then you see the second one, it says Compensatory Afforestation Fund Act. Click on that. It says the preamble talks about it. Click on second one. Section 2. Now we're not giving you the entire act over here. Have a look at this. We're giving you Biological Diversity Act, complete act, because the entire act relates to that topic. But the Compensatory Afforestation Fund Act, only 3 sections are related to this topic. So only these 3 sections have been brought in under this particular category. So it's very focused, and it gives you that it brings you in that element of research that whatever that is relevant to you is just kept around you. You don't have to run around to find that information. Okay. And let's go to rules and regulation. Can you collapse this and go to rules and regulation? All the rules and regulation that has come till now on this topic is made available. Similarly, notification and everything. Let's come to the case laws. Handpicked judgments on this topic is made available to you. You click on any of this, the information will appear over here. And now mind this, we're not even giving you full judgment, because probably the full judgment was not, related to biological diversity. It's talking about something else, like indirectly related to environment, but not exactly to biological diversity. So this point of law was relevant to you, your search, or the topic that you're searching. So only that point of law has been made available. You already know how to see judgment. You click on citation, the full judgment will open up into a different window. So that has been taken care of. Yeah. Similarly, treaties and everything would be made available over here. Right? And the treaties are there, policy documents, articles, all that is handpicked information is made available to you. Let's go back to the dashboard. And now browse law reports. You can explore it yourself. We have made a, index for all these other journals. So you can see that. Let's go to browse judgment by court. And now I can see judgment date wise. I hear you ask that our faculty members keep on telling us that you should read the latest judgment from Supreme Court every day. Now this will be a helpful tool for you. You go to Supreme Court, you click on the current decade, and then we go for 2021, June. I'm getting the entire June month date wise. And then if I click on any of this, date, I'll get date wise judgments available over here without searching anything. Let's go to the next search. That is, we have done the acts. We go to browse articles. Articles are made available to you. So you can, if you don't want to search for it, you want to browse through it, you can browse through it. You can click on law review journals. The other information also available over here. I'm not going to come to that. Click on any of the journal, Mr. Raina. And over here, the topic wise, it will open up. So you are, if in case you're not reading for something, you're not looking for something, and you want to read about something randomly, you can simply go through the headings over here. By reading the headings, you will understand that this is relevant to you or not relevant. Okay. Let's go back to, let's go to I'll just pick up two, that is secondary materials and moot court. So let's go to secondary material first. I promised you something in the starting that I will show you the Constituent Assembly debate, which is going to help you a lot in understanding the Constitution of India. So along with that, there's a bills in Parliament. Could you please click on the bills in Parliament first? So as issued, as passed by one of the houses, as introduced by one of the houses, you can see to it. Constitutional documents is where we are going right now. Constituent Assembly debates. So these are 12 volumes. Along with the index, if you can see the index, we also made a comparative index from the draft article to the CR article. So if you're seeing the article number right now in the Constitution of India, and you want to see what was the corresponding draft number, article number in the draft, then this comparative table will come in handy. Like if you can see, article in the Constitution of India is Article 7, but in the draft Constitution it was 5AA. So if you want to read about Article 7, you should not be looking for the Constituent Assembly debate section number, article number 7. You should be looking for article number 5AA in the Assembly debates. So that ways you can do it. And the Constituent Assembly debates are available over here. Mr. Rana, could you click on the first one first? And there we have it. The entire first day report is available over here. It's very simple. Even if you're in the first year, do not get, do not be too shy or scared to read all this because this will be a legal language. No, it's not a legal language. It's a simple, plain English that's made available. So you can start going through it, parallel to the Constitution of India, parallel to other acts. I can give you in writing. If you do this, the conceptual knowledge that you'll possess after 5 years will be unbeatable. Right? Let's Can you go to that the reports? So the reports, the various reports, you can see the Law Commission report as well over here. So you can go through it, click on it, you can get through it. Let's get to the dashboards and come to moot court resources. This is what we were talking about in the starting with Bhavna ma'am and to all in front of all students. Let's take Amity International Moot Court. So 10th International. So problem is there. I think we are still waiting for that thing. Let's take the Lucknow one. I remember I was there personally. So I think I got all of these like copies of it. I think it will take some time to load up. Yeah, let's take this now. Yeah, so I remember because I was there. So there we have it. Problem is here. The moot court proposition problem is here. The winning team appellant size memo or the respondent side memo is also made available to you. So this is what we've been doing, and you can make use of it, right? So there, I have one more thing which I have to cover, that is the folders, but I think I'll do that later. I'll take your questions right now, and if there are not a lot of questions, and then I will be moving to the how to access your folders, and with that, how to make your own compendium, which takes hours for you to make, putting numbers on one page number on each page and then making an index. I will make that happen for you in less than 2 seconds. But before that, I think let's get into the questions. Swati ma'am.
Yes. So if any one of you have question, you may raise your hand or you may type in the chat box.
We can see if there was any previous question that we missed out.
Right.
There was one question that was asked about the Singapore,
SIC.
documents. So we will talk about that as well. If there are no question, then you can let me know that I can focus our time onto those queries.
I don't see anybody raising hand. I think you've almost covered everything. So maybe that's why there are no questions. It has been very detailed.
I think we will just cover that LawNet
Right.
once. Mr. Raina, could you please click on the dashboards? So though, Mr. Raina, let's do one thing. Let's go back to word search and show them that how they can see the international judgments, and then show them the LawNet. So just search for any particular word, random word. Just search for court and start search. See, whenever you're doing a search in SCC, everything searched together. The international jurisdictions, the foreign courts, everything. Only the Singapore data, we have to go to their website and search on it. So how do we do it? We're going to show it to you, but giving you a full answer to it, that's what I'm going to trying to do with this search. If in case someone is not able to type anything in the search because I see this message saying that one person is no longer has access to the chat, you can please raise your hand. Now, if you see this, the judgment, Supreme Court, Federal Court, High Courts, and foreign courts, and the international courts. You click on the plus sign of foreign courts, you will see the country-wise, cases. And similarly, if you scroll down, and if you click on the international courts, you'll see international courts judgments over here, right? Now let's go back to the dashboards. No, wait a sec. We can also show them. We can also search for articles from here. Articles, whatever that we search in the browse, you can also do that. So see bills, articles, everything can be searched. So you don't have to go through browse all the time. But let's go back to the LawNet, Mr. Raina. And for Singapore law reports, you have to click on this Singapore LawNet. You click on that, it will log you onto their portal. And search is very simple. It's a one tab search. You can type in anything, whatever thing that we discussed today, double quotes, putting main words, the same methodology will apply over there. There we have it. So it says keyword search. You write, let's say merger over here and start search. So the results comes in over here. You click on any of the entries over here. The full judgment will appear right in front of you. There we have it. So it's a simple thing. I would not like to spend a lot of time on this because whatever that we have learned applies. All those things applies over here. Mr. Raina, I think we'll just quickly show the students the folder icon. We have saved the folder. How can we access the folder? We go to these three people icon. Go to My Folders, View Folders, and Swati ma'am and Bhavna ma'am, this would be coming in handy to all for your students. I'm gonna show you something which you're gonna save a lot of time. Your students are gonna save a lot of time. We all make compendiums, right? And compendiums are sometimes running into 100 pages or 1,000 pages, and then the index. We all have known that how to save folders that we have shown you a lot of times during the session. Now this is my folder. I select all my documents that I want in the compendium by selecting this top icon. And then next icon to that is action icon. We go to the last entry which says create case compilation. One click on this and I can reorder this and all stuff. Leave that. Just click on create, Mr. Anna. Your compendium is ready. And you'll be
चेतन
surprised.
जी अच्छी बात नहीं है, आपने सारी चीजें बता दी। आज ही अगले सेशन के लिए बुलाएंगे ही नहीं आपको।
मैंने कब बोला ये खत्म हो गया सब कुछ? I am running short of time.
Chetan, this is going to be a great help for creating assignments, projects, and whatever work which is assigned to the
As
students.
students prepare, and this is the final thing, they mostly leave after making the memorial, which actually takes a lot of time. And they do it at the last moment. So I think this will be very, very helpful trick for them. So their research time will not be wasted. So
Correct,
that,
correct.
that has been a very grateful help.
And I
This
think
is
how much time?
auto numbering happens. Auto
Right.
numbering happens, which is running into hundreds or thousands of pages. So you don't really have to care about it because this is all being electronically managed. So there'll be no error. And then this is editable. You can
Right.
edit it according to your choice in case you wish to bring some kind of emphasis on some para number. So just next to the citation, you can also write para number and so and so and page 3 or page 4, whatever. So you can also see say all this to further bring proper attention to the judges. So all of this is basically is used by the very busy bar members. So I think
Right.
members of the student community, if they start understanding this from this stage, wonderful will be the results going
Right.
forward. So,
Definitely.
so what we need now, I think we should open the session for question and answers, and we are ready to answer the queries.
We did. We actually did, and we didn't really get any questions, so we came back to this. So I think I'll just show one thing, and I think I would request you to show one great example for word search before we conclude. So before I hand over the baton to you, now see this. There's a page number 1, and it will go till page number 80. All that has been there, and you can download it by this clicking on the second column icon. You click on this, it will get downloaded onto your machine. You bring in the index, paste the documents behind it, and your compendium is made in less than what? I think 3 minutes, 2 minutes, maybe. That's how it is. Sensor, why don't you conclude a session with giving us one interesting example? And Kanika, yes, there will be a recording available for this session. We'll be sending a recording link to Swati ma'am, and it'll be available on YouTube. So ma'am will share the link with you, and then you can refer to it as well. We'll also be sharing our contact details, so in case you need to reach out to us, and if you have any question, you'll have a email ID and the contact numbers.
so
Sensor.
thank you, Chetan. So what I'll share now is to entertain students, not the serious stuff. I remember I was in one international university where the senior professor, after having seen the session, said. No, it's not that easy when you guys are showing because you guys are comfortable with the platform, so you can search anything. But when we are looking for actual serious stuff, we do not actually find anything. So I said, sir, let's try. So he started giving me, in fact, a complete narrative. The narrative goes like this: that there was a transport company in 1800 and something. I said, transport company in 1800 something. Then he started smiling. He said, yes, in 1800 something, the transport company was horse cart transport company in England or somewhere. So, okay, all right. So these were not motor cars, these were horse cars. Okay. So what really happened was that the one transport company owner insisted with one of his employees that you should take this horse and this cart. And sensing the bad mood of the horse, the employee was unwilling to take that horse, and on the insistence of the employer, he went close to that horse, and horse did the honors. And he, in fact, had multiple fractures here and there because horse was really into terrible mood. And now, as this person got badly hurt, and he reached to the court for in first case of employer's liability for compensation under employer's liability, and this became a historical case wherein the compensation was requested by a horse cart driver for getting hurt while on duty, etc., etc. So now, how can we find this case? So there are a couple of cues here. So I said, what else we know about this? Is there any name available? He said, no, I can't remember the party name. Is there any forum available that whether it was a US case or UK case or maybe Indian case? No, we do not remember anything. The only thing that I can remember is that probably I think horse cart or maybe the cart was considered plant and machinery in this case. So so what is the right way to do search for these kind of stories on hand or narratives on hand? It is such a long, I think, story. uh, Now, friends, I will request you to think about the core issue. Key is to create simple query for the complex questions which are coming before you. So what is the core thing that is being decided here? One thing that comes to your mind is maybe they're talking about Employers Liability Act, so we can go into that. Or uh, the other option is thinking of even more simpler, I think, query, which is the last cue that the professor had given. The horse cart was considered plant and machinery. So can we think of creating a very simple query with some keywords, because generally we request members not to type more than 3 words or 2 words to first start with the preliminary search. So otherwise, if we start typing the complete story, that'll become too much. So what we can do here is to type only 2 words: horse and plant, horse and plant. And now, as you can see, if we look for this search as it is, this may actually find the occurrence of word horse and plant anywhere occurring in the text in the judgment. Horse may appear on the first page, plant may appear on the last page. Chetan has already shared with you that in case you use near, it will start finding these two closer to each other when you do that. And as you can see, as soon as you type near in between, the option bulleted radio button is moving from all words to Boolean, and near is by default set for 10 words. When we select this and we start search, let's see what happens here. So ocean of information, Indian, international, many jurisdictions, and all of these put together. Let us see what is coming to us. You see the first note which has come on the right hand side. It says the classic definition of plant was given in by Lindley Lord Justice in Yarmouth versus France in 1887, a case in which it was decided that a cart horse was plant within the meaning of Section 1, Subsection 1 of Employers Liability Act 1880. So, friends, what has happened here is that we were successful in creating a very, very simple query for a very complex story and narrative which was shared with us. So, always think about some important keywords which will definitely be giving you help in reducing the vast numbers. In case you can think of such good query, the research will really become very interesting and will be very, very, I think, enjoyable as well. As you can also see that with this search, we have no wonders we are finding about 88 or 90 number of results, but digest notes are only 5. So it is quite a possibility that all of these 5 digest notes are definitely having the meaningful information for us. And as you have already seen in the first note itself, the substantial information, we know the party name now, we know who was the Lord Justice who stated this, and we can also see that it was under Employers Liability Acts. And but what did we type? We type only 2 other keywords, horse and plant. So this is something that we wanted to share with you, that the research, legal research, not necessarily have to be very, very complicated. It can be very, very simple affair to reach very difficult queries in this fashion. Over to you. Back to you, Chetan. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Plant and machinery, yes. The horses. So I
Horse
think
is a plant. I still can't believe this was decided. Horse is a plant. And considered as a plant and machinery.
it's
Part
now
of
it
what?
is now
Part
it's a
horse. So,
precedent. We can. I think that's the reason. I think other day I was taking a session. I think with Amity Ranchi, and this was a question raised that why the faculty member requested us that we should talk about why we should not restrict ourselves only to statute law and also should refer to case laws. I think that this example does the justice to it, that everything would not be defined in the statutes. There is a requirement of certain interpretation time to time, which is required for whatever reasons, like this example, and that can only come into through the case laws, the judgments. And I think that's why we need to have, you know, a mix of both when you're doing a research. Thank you
Swati
so
ma'am,
much.
in case you have any queries, or in case other faculty members, those who are part of this session, in case they want to put us into some difficult spot, we are ready for that.
No, I think almost everything is covered. It has been very helpful for me also because every time I go to SCC, there's some other new icon or some other point to always explore. So I think everything is covered, and the tricks that were told in this course has been really helpful. I think our students also found it very interesting and easy because technology has actually changed the way legal research has been. So
Thank you so much, Swati ma'am. Thank you so much.
that has
It's
been a
been a
very
great pleasure.
insightful session. And
Swati
we,
ma'am, if I add to what you
yes,
were saying,
yes,
in continuation to what Swati ma'am says,
yes, ma'am.
we are putting you in a fix now because we will reserve one more session very soon. Swati ma'am, our first year, second year students have just
Right,
finished with their exams today.
right,
So
right, right.
probably we will have a lot of more audience coming up in another 10-15 days when they will be with their books in the next session. So I
Right.
think we can again request Chetan ji and Sanjay ji and his team to be with us, probably with your help, with your aid next month, so that when I will also approach my Moot Court Society students and give them an edge over what session we had today. And I think next session also will be a more interactive session. So we look forward to have this team again. And as we all know that SCC and Amity Law School, Noida, they are like dovetails. They have an inseparable connections closely knitted to each other. And this time the credit goes to Swati ma'am for connecting you, bringing you back with us, for us. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so
Yeah,
Thank
thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your kind words once again. Thank you.
And for the students who are inquiring in the chats that if they have any doubts, they can reach out to the toll-free number that I've shared. Yes, you can reach out to toll-free numbers. The numbers will be active from Monday till Saturday, from 10 to 7 p.m. But in case you have some time and you want to reach out to us, we will not be available on those numbers, on the toll-free numbers. You can reach out to us on our email ID, that is learning@scconline.com. I've already mentioned that in the chat. That email address, that this particular email address is not only for me, but it's for Sanjay sir, for Mr. Raina, and for other trainers that we have in the company. So reach out to us, and please do mention from which university you are sending an email from, or you're a student of. And if you can mention, please mention your contact details. Sometimes we are not able to explain a certain thing on the email, but would like to talk to you over the phone. So do mention that, and we'll take it from there. Yeah. So on this note that we are going, but we are still there, we are still accessible. We'll end this session, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Just wanted to thank you again for a very interactive session. And I think, as Bhavna ma'am pointed out, we do plan to continue having more of such sessions so that students can practice more and then they can come up with more queries in the next session. So thank you very much. And indeed, it was a very helpful session for all of us. Thank you so much. Okay.
Thank
so
you,
much.
ma'am.
We will
Thank
end
you.
the
Have a
session.
wonderful.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We will send you that recording.
Yeah, sure. I'll get in touch with you.
Please. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you. Okay. Take care.
Thank you so much, sir.